Minnie Driver shines as Queen Elizabeth I in The Serpent Queen, challenging Samantha Morton's Catherine de' Medici. Driver discusses the hard questions of her podcast and answers ours, like what she'd tell her younger and older self, and what has changed her life the most. Driver looks back on the people and moment her life was irrevocably changed. Minnie Driver has turned heads in stellar films like Good Will Hunting, Sleepers, Grosse Point Blank, The Crash, and TV's The Riches. But the Oscar-nominated actor delivers a stunning transformation as sassy Elizabeth I of England in Season 2 of the Starz hit, The Serpent Queen. Driver enters the popular Samantha Morton-led series, and her Queen Elizabeth proves to be a formidable force for Morton's tortured yet manipulative Catherine de' Medici. It's a season about three queens, in fact, as Isabel Jesper Jones, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, joins the series as a powerful young woman named Edith, a Protestant peasant preacher who also threatens Catherine's reign. Driver was jazzed to come aboard the show as Elizabeth I, who was in her 20s when she first came to reign. It's fitting, then, that we asked Driver what she'd tell her 20-something self now. She said, 1. I would encourage her to worry less, but to also, in general, to worry less, to not take things for granted, and to not believe that the things that are in place when you're 20, to really try and see past the hubris of youth. I would love it if I could go back and say that to my 20-year-old self. Enjoy all of it, but just that there is kind of a clock that's ticking, so don't get in the weeds about stuff that really doesn't matter, be that people, places, or things. We also asked Driver to flash forward 20 years and ponder what her older self might tell today's Minnie Driver. To which she said, "You are still so young, do everything. Do everything that you're physically going to be challenged by doing when you're a little bit old, 20 years on from now. Like keep surfing, keep skiing, keep hiking, and walking, and enjoying everything. And remember that, relatively, you are young," she said confidently. Driver loves questions, in fact. Her Mini Questions with Minnie Driver podcast is a hit. The show finds Driver cavorting with celebs, creatives, and change agents near and far. In the few years it's been in production, Driver has interviewed Viola Davis, The Woman King, Coleman Domingo, Rustin, Fear the Walking Dead, Nick Jonas, Courtney Cox, Friends, Samantha Bee, Rufus Wainwright, Gabby Reese, and many others. So, who would be her dream guest? I would love Jimmy Kimmel to come on my show. I would love to talk to him. I would love to talk to Michelle Obama. I would love to talk to Oprah. Those are some dream guests. But also, like musical artists like Taylor Swift, Etienne Charles. I mean, there are a bunch of really young musicians right now who are so influential and so powerful to this younger generation. I'd love to ask them about how they see the world, and what's informed them. The great thing about Mini Questions is that Driver asks her guests the same 7 thought-provoking questions each episode. Think, Vanity Fair's Proust questionnaire but deeper, perhaps. They're the questions that drive Minnie Driver, from when and where were you happiest, to what relationship, real or fictionalized, defines love for you. We plucked Driver's question, what person, place, or experience most altered your life? Fittingly, she harkened back to the 90s, when her career took off. At the time, she was in a relationship with Matt Damon, but the two parted ways before each of them generated Oscar buzz for their work in Good Will Hunting. My life was most altered, I think, when I became famous. So, it's probably everyone, Dustin Hoffman, Sam Baker of the podcast, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, a producer called Chris Moore, who all believed in me and believed that I should be in Good Will Hunting when there were other people who didn't believe I should so much be in it, said Driver, who added, "It really changed my life in a lot of ways that were extremely painful, and obviously in ways that were immeasurably amazing, because I've got to have a career for 30 years and that movie still brings a lot of joy." So that really was a hugely influential, pivotal moment in my life. Season 2 of The Serpent Queen may be, too. Tune into Starz on July 12 for its premiere and watch on streaming here, with new episodes weekly.